This month, we've been talking about wholehearted living. Wholehearted living. And I thought, like, wholehearted, like all out. Living 100%. You're all in. All the way. We're going to take this all the way. Living with all you've got. With your whole heart. And from the heart. So this is wholehearted living, right? You know what that's like? Is that what you're doing now? Living wholeheartedly? And if you don't, or you don't think you are, how would you know? If you are. So the first thought that popped into my mind as a good example to talk about was if you were an athlete, maybe even an elite athlete, and you wanted to be good at this, like we want to be good at living. So this athlete, he wants to be good. He wants to be his best. Actually, he wants to be the best on the team, the best in the whole room, maybe the best in the world. And I thought I would venture to say that this person better be pretty committed, better be pretty dedicated to what he wants. And beyond exercising every day, many hours a day, pushing harder than he did the day before because now he's stronger, or she is stronger than the day before. They in addition may practice. Besides just physically exercising and getting their body stronger, they have to practice what they're doing. If there's a specific sport, it might be a little different, but they're going to run through routines and plays. They're going to do what they feel is necessary for them to learn every day. And they have to be mentally prepared, focused. They become single-minded in their goal and their activities, what they actually do. And they don't get sidetracked. They don't get distracted from their dream, their desire. Is that how you're living your life?
Yes.
Yes? You may go. We want to see change and we want to see peace in our life. And there is no wrong amount. I don't want to make anyone feel they're not doing enough. But it needs to be a conscious choice at what level you want to live at. How you want to grow and learn. I was listening to an interview not too long ago with Dwayne Johnson. You may know him by The Rock. Yeah. Looks a lot like me. He has no hair. And he used to be a football player. If you know, when he was younger and he played football, played college, played pros. And he said he was talking about Tom Brady. You may also know who Tom Brady is. He might be one of the best quarterbacks in football history. Now, some people that are Seattle fans or Denver fans may say Peyton Manning. It's all debatable, but Tom Brady may be the best quarterback in history, I think. Anyway, he was talking about him at a time, this was years ago, and he was with a bunch of friends, and he said, let's go out, we'll go out to dinner, we'll have a few drinks, we'll party together, and have some fun. And he said, and I invited Tom to come with us. And Tom said, no, I'm in training. And Dwayne he laughed during the interview, and he kind of said, it's March. And it's funny because if you know anything about football, if you make it all the way to the Super Bowl, that's over in February. And you don't even play your next game until like August. So here he is in March, and Tom is in training. He is preparing to be the best he can be all the time. Dwayne doesn't play anymore. Tom's still playing. He had made choices. Tom had made choices. He was focused and he stayed in shape and he was prepared. And he worked on his craft all the time. And you've got to admire that kind of dedication and determination to achieve his goals. We all live like that. Do we live wholeheartedly? Are we always focused and trained to be and do and have exactly what we want in life? Every day. Now, sometimes our life habits and our BS, at least says sometimes our belief systems, I'm not swearing, our belief systems make it a little difficult. Just recently I read just this one sentence thing from Nelson Mandela, and he said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." It always seems difficult until it is done. I was sharing with a class once, and I was talking about manifesting. And I was talking about how we create our lives, what we experience, all the time. In every moment, we create our experience, our lives. And we think when we pray, or we treat, or we ask for good in our lives, or we have a dream, that that's exactly what we should get. We should get that. We prayed for it. That's our dream. Because it's a mechanical process, the one mind and law. They don't choose and say, no, you can't, you can't, you can. It's an automatic mechanical process. So why is it saying no to me? When we don't get what we ask for, sometimes we may blame God, the source, any divine principle you believe in. You may blame your teacher. And they may ask, why is God not listening to me? We learn how the creative process works, and we know it's mechanical. I'm sending positive and loving thoughts. Why am I not getting positive and loving results? So I gave an example. When you get up in the morning and you say, today is going to be a wonderful day. And I start with a positive affirmation. Today is going to be a wonderful day. And then you go out into the kitchen and there's water over the counter because your coffee pot broke. And from what I see, we drinking coffee here, that may be a bad thing for many of us. So you have to rush now. After you've cleaned up, you have to get the kids ready for school. And someone is calling on the telephone. You don't really have time and you don't want to answer the phone. And you get on the road and you're driving to work and the road is shut down that you normally take and there's barricades up there because there's a big pothole in the road, so you have to take a detour. Now you're thinking, I might be late for work. And when you get to work and someone makes fun, no, okay, because you may have on different colored socks. If I didn't have Claire to watch out for me, it would have been a normal occurrence for me. get dressed in the dark, and sometimes it takes me about a half an hour for me to actually even open my eyes. And on and on. There's traffic and rush and push and family affairs and weather and flooding in your basement. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So I said to the class then, with that scenario of your day, what do you think you were creating? What experiences and situations and circumstances were you drawing into your life? You started off the day with a thought and an affirmation, and you held that for what? 6 seconds? And then the rest of your day was, like I explained, the next 8 hours you lived in frustration and upset and disappointment. So what were you expressing for the majority of the day? Because if good thoughts and bad thoughts had weight, which way would your balance, your scale go? What would be the dominant thought of your day? What do you think you're creating? Claire said to me, so did you tell them? Did you tell them what to do? Did you explain to them? The broken coffee pot. Yay, I get a new coffee pot. Started switching it all around. The road shut down. Thank you. Glad I didn't hit that pothole. Saved me a lot of money in repairs. How wonderful. I really appreciate those city workers out there doing that for me. Someone made fun of my socks in the morning. I'm glad I could bring some joy into your life. So you feel good. I'll start doing that on purpose. And in my experience, when you switch those things around, you do truly end up having a wonderful day. When you exude the kind of energy that you know you want to create, more of the same comes into your life. And I know life happens. Potholes happen. The question is, how do you react? Or better yet, how do you respond? This is a big question I ask all the time. And do you know the difference between reacting and responding to situations? You know, the reaction is just that knee-jerk anger, frustration, upset. Reacting is based on our conditioning, that BS system, the habits, those things that are buried deep down inside that just bubble up. Responding is more like contemplating the event and making an appropriate move. In addition, there is something else that's going on within all of this manifesting. What we pray for, what we dream for, dream of in our lives. We don't know what we really want. You say you want money, but that deeper place I was talking about, the hidden place that you maybe don't even recognize is there, that subconscious thing, that part of you that says, you're not worthy. What makes you think you're going to get $1 million? So you say, I want money, but I'm not worth money, which is the dominant thought. We want a good relationship, but our ego says, you're going to get hurt like before. So we sabotage ourselves to avoid even the possibility of pain or loss or lack. To live wholeheartedly is to live not from here, but from here. From the heart. And you need both logic and emotion to navigate life, you need both. But I think, and I fear that we've moved as a species too far from being hardwired to fix things, to doing logical things, ego-based things for the way we live, too far from letting our hearts make our decisions. Some time ago, maybe many thousands of years ago, we decided it would be best to let our brains do the thinking, to be the leader. The brain had a unique ability to plan and think. We could build walls, we could create caves, we could shelter and protect our food and our lives, our families. But I think now is a different time. We're no longer protecting ourselves from those things. It is our hearts that we need to let take the lead now. And not to close down and protect it, but to open it up and share it. Mark Nepo wrote something in a book called The Book of Awakening. It's kind of a day-by-day reading every day. My wife and I, Claire and I, we read this every morning. This was taken from the day of January 28th, entitled Meeting the World. He said, there is a wind blowing since the beginning of time, and in every language ever spoken it continues to whisper. You must meet the world with your inner world, or it will. Those of you that don't know me well, this happens all the time. Everybody else is. Give me a moment. Just hits me. The existence, it will crush you. If your inner world does not meet the outer world, your life will collapse. Though we think that hiding our inwardness will somehow protect or save us, it is quite the opposite. The heart is very much like a miraculous balloon. Its lightness comes from staying full, not by being less. Meeting the days with our hearts prevents the collapse. This is why 90-year-old widows remain committed to tending a garden. Why 10-year-olds with little to eat will care for a kitten. Why just breathe. Why painters going blind to paint? Why composers going deaf write music? And when we think we can't do it again, we let out a sigh, we take a breath, we go back through the centuries, and despite it all, we try again. You see, more anger and fear or hatred will not fix our problem. It will manifest more anger and fear. From heart comes love and joy and contentment. I think coming from the heart is the perfect way to live wholeheartedly all the time. Sometimes it's hard to find the heart center or know what you really want or what you really are. My example of an athlete is not unique. It's the same for business people, for musicians, firefighters, teachers, mothers, fathers, builders, cooks, ministers, even politicians. Any path in life would benefit from coming from the heart and living wholeheartedly. It's like being a baker and you're baking a cake and you leave out the most important ingredient. In life, leaving out the heart makes for a cold or uninspired life, kind of a half-baked life. And why don't we approach our lives like an athlete? How much time and attention do we give our mental stability, our body tempo, our relationships? How often do I love? How often do I do what feeds my soul? How often do I recognize what exactly makes a positive difference in my life? How often do I think loving thoughts? How often do I switch that scenario from negativity to positivity? And if I could weigh my thoughts, would love be greater than the anger? Do I have the commitment to follow through? And if not, honestly, what do you expect? Maybe unlike the athlete, we don't know what we want to achieve or who we want to be. And going deeper, we don't know who we really are. And if we don't know who we are, how can we act like ourselves? In the Science of Mind magazine, they did a little write-up on a play called Joe Turner's Come and Gone, and exploring how a person comes to find the road he was meant to travel. And in that play, Joe Turner discovers the universal truth that we are each given a song we are meant to sing. And we all we have to do is remember how. And the one-word answer, a key to open that door, is love. Perfect song. It's there in title. All you need is love. How perfect was that? And don't get thrown by the song like, I don't know my song. There's no words running through my head. What was I meant to sing? Or what were you meant to do? Eugene Holden had the answer too. He wrote in the Science of Mind magazine. He said, all you have to do is just be yourself. He wrote, you are called to express in magnificent ways no matter what you are doing in life. Remember that you are the brilliant expression of God. And all that you do is supported in ways you may never know. With that being said, just be yourself. Perhaps you are not sure of who you are. No problem. Begin to cultivate a meditation, practice of listening. Once you are comfortable, sitting quietly, ask these questions. Who am I? What did I come here to do? What did I come here to be? And then, listen. No need to rush. This is a practice that takes time. Once you begin to get the idea of who you are, start being that. Trust that you will be guided. Trust that sacred little voice within. You are the light of the world. not being yourself, serves no one. Live wholeheartedly. Live in love. Be committed. Be yourself. Respect yourself. We lose respect for ourselves when we fail to be who we really are. There is a change coming. But to see it, you must look with an open heart and live wholeheartedly. Namaste. Close with a prayer. Just close your eyes just for a moment. I talk a little long. I apologize. I have so much to say, so much love to give, to share. Just know that there is a connectedness between all of us, between all of humanity. One source, one God, one divine presence, one ultimate truth, one source, one spirit, one God. And we are part of that. And we co-create in our lives through that. It expresses through us all the time. Want to know who you are? So you can be who you are? Sometimes just stop and listen. There is a connectedness between you and other people, between you and nature. Sometimes when something moves you, be it a word or a bird singing or the trees blowing in the wind, it is touching some inner part of you that is the same, that wants to express. So let it out. We open our hearts and we love. We open our hearts and we fill our life with air, and it makes us lighter. It makes us grow. It helps us make decisions. And we are better for it. Live wholeheartedly. Open your lives and love. It's as easy as that. And I say thank you. And so it is.
Thank you, Lyle.
We're going to do things a little bit differently this morning. We've asked Marion and Shannon to kind of close us out. Now, normally we get up and we get in a circle, but I want everyone to stay in their seats today. I'm going to ask the ushers to come forward. This is a time, and also you can help me with this too. I want to be breaking down again. Find in your program the offering and affirmation, so as we begin to pass the plate, you are sharing and loving and giving with an open heart. Read this with me. Joyfully I give with gratitude, for I know that as I give, I am given. I allow the abundant nature of the universe to flow through me now. I am so blessed, and so it is. As we close the rain chant.
So I'm going to join you, ask you, invite you to come sing wholeheartedly with us. I'm going to sing and then you're going to sing back, and it's only one word, so if you forget that word, just listen to Shanti. Hallelujah. Yeah? Hallelujah for bringing yourself here today, yeah? Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah!